Good evening. Today is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. Today for Friday the 13th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as setups, let's stick with the Curie for now. There are more stocks setting up, so we could see a lot more setups fairly soon, unless something changes drastically, obviously. Anyway, and it's a fluid situation. I know sometimes I say there's going to be more and more setups, and then there's none. But it's one day at a time. Stop me if you heard that before. Anyway, okay day overall in the portfolio. Once again, no need to adjust stops just yet. We'll get to that in just 1 second. In fact, we'll do that right now. TFPM, a little bit of a rally there, not too far away from all-time high, so I'm certainly feel good about that. KGC bringing up the rear, yeah, not too bad, not too far away from all-time high. So I like to see it obviously bang out that IPT and beyond. As far as official setups, it's CURI. I still think it has potential. Of course, and as usual, just make sure you wait for an entry on that. GE could use a little bit more pullback, but it is a pretty interesting trend for GE. Nice little persistent trend, decent HV, and obviously plenty of volume. Opening gap reversal, if it occurred here, would be pretty cool. I still like this RBRK. The gap's a little bit of an issue, though. I wish it didn't have the gap in here, but it looks okay as a pullback. But as far as official setups, let's just stick with the CURI for now. Let's take a look at the overall market and then drill down a bit. First of all, and as usual, S&P 500. Better than a poke in the eye inside day, but a decent day there. And closing just below, not too far below, I should say, all-time highs and pushing through most of this overhead supply. You know me, I sure like to hit bust through and not look back, because if it did that, then that will become support. Resistance becomes support and vice versa. Nasdaq Composite, up a little bit in here, 0.25%. It's got a little ways to go to get past this remaining fluff. But hey, you know routine. Here it comes one day at a time. Rusty, kind of back to its old self. Down a little today. Not the end of the world, but stalling shy of this overhead supply. Lots of areas still have overhead supply. Speaking of overhead supply, such as bots. Cybersecurity update there. So far, it survived this V-shaped recovery. You know me, I like to see a breakout. Now look back for a while, then look to play pullbacks along the way. Gold waking up, the commodity at least, waking up in here just shy of multi-year highs. Gold stocks, decent day there too, just shy of multi-year highs too. So far, so good there. A lot of areas like biotech, again, still remain below a lot of overhead supply. Drugs had a decent day, pushing into this recent resistance here. I wouldn't rush out and get excited and buy them just yet, but it is good to see them coming back with a bit of a vengeance. Software pushing higher off its best levels, still has a little ways to go to get past these recent peaks. Take a look at defense. So far, just pulling back in here, not seeing a tremendous amount of setups just yet, but we could fairly soon there, so we'll keep an eye on that. We're keeping an eye on that, I should say. Mags, Flatsville there, still below, you guessed it, a mountain of overhead supply. Palladium, opening gap reversal there. Looks pretty good. So far, the breakout remains intact. Platinum, bam, winning. Continue to absolutely melt up in here. Uranium also doing pretty good, too, off its best levels with closed at brand new highs, nonetheless. Financials, opening gap reversal there. Closed at Flatsville. Still a little overhead supply to get through. So what do we do? Well, right now, obviously, things continue to improve. There's still some issues, such as, again, you guys said overhead supply and these V-shaped recoveries. So here comes one more time. It's still a one day at a time environment. But I am seeing more and more stocks in the early phases of setting up. So we could see, again, more setups fairly soon. So take an eye, keep an eye out for an entry on that CURI. And other than that, sit tight for a while. Any questions? As usual, DaveLandry.com. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.